is the most fucked up thing you've seen a friend do? Lesbian best friend that got kicked out of her religious parents' house, and I let her stay with me. She fucked my then girlfriend. To be fair, this isn't a great girlfriend either. Yikes! Deliberately get knocked down by a car in order to prove that when drunk, and we were very drunk, his bones were flexible. Fortunately, the car had been slowing to turn. There followed a couple of minutes trying to reassure the driver he was okay whilst calling him an idiot. Meanwhile, he was laying flat on his back, maintaining he'd proved his point. At least he's only an idiot and not plain evil like some of these comments. You got a good friend, homie. We might have a winner over here. Throw McDonald's fries and burger as hard as he could at a homeless lady asking for food. I called him a piece of shit and never spoke to him again. I think we had the same friend. A friend I don't talk to anymore gave a homeless man $20 under the condition that he would have to stand there getting berated about how he fucked his own life up. We dragged him away as he was yelling at this dude who was now bawling his eyes out. Watching him in hysterics while picking up $1.20 off the ground was one of the most heartbreaking things I've seen. That is just vile, lower than low. We were working in an old lady's attic and he kicked the shit out of a pipe on purpose, then went and told her it needed to be replaced. I never worked with him again after that. Not a friend. Worked with a total piece of shit and watched him take advantage of an old lady, eventually saying some drywall needed replaced and just kicking it in. Edit guy ended up going back to prison for stealing like $40K from the Boy Scouts. Fuck those types of contractors. I'm a plumber and I value honesty and integrity. Those are the ones that give us a bad name. When I was a kid, I found a baby bat that seemed injured, so I made a home for it in an old coffee can to get better. I went inside to eat lunch. After eating, I went to check on my new friend and it was nowhere to be found. Neither was my brother or neighbor best friend at the time. I eventually found them on a trail by my house, laughing hysterically. They were laughing at the bat that they had just dismembered. Still think about that often, and it's been 21 years or so. Edit, thanks for all the words. So, a little more backstory on them. My brother was always abusive towards animals and other kids in the neighborhood, and at school, not to mention home. He suffered a lot of mental health issues, and for some reason, I try to use that to justify his actions. But truthfully, I know he was just a dick. It was quite difficult growing up with him. A couple years ago, he made an executive decision to leave this life. Even with all the bad shit that happened, it still messed me up a bit. I definitely do not think of him as a good person, but there was some good in there somewhere. My neighbor was similar, but more mean towards people, and when they were together, they created a shitty duo. He also ended up taking his own life. It can't be easy holding on to so much hate. That's some serial killer shit. I'm sorry that happened to the bat, but also to you. My best friend had just broken up with my brother, who had moved over 1,000 miles and changed jobs to be with her, citing personal differences. My brother was devastated, but I tried to respect her decision and be a source of support for both of them, especially because they truly weren't the best fit. But then she shared with me, because she knew that I loved her and would be happy for her so long as she was happy, that she'd been cheating on my brother for the past month and had found her soulmate. The depth of my brother's heartbreak, already immense, was further compounded by the infidelity. To my bewilderment, she truly couldn't understand why I was ending the friendship. Seemed so distraught that I would end a years-long relationship over something so small. And I still can't comprehend why she thought telling me would result in anything other than a complete door slam. Hannah, you still suck. And I'm still angry. Edit ETA that I had also asked her to be the maid of honor in my upcoming wedding. Ironic. Whoa, this is so similar to my situation. I had to check your profile to make sure you weren't my sister, LOL. In my case, we were a great fit, and everyone was shocked when she left me for this other guy she'd just met, and even more shocked when I told them she had been talking to this other guy and expressed her feelings for him while still dating me. We stayed together another 3 weeks while she was lying to me, saying she wanted to fix the relationship, all while still talking to the dude behind my back. It's insane what some people choose to ignore, like hurting someone they've cared about and loved for so long. Of course, you're going to stick with family over friendship, especially if it's been an intimate relationship. Yeah, fuck you, Hannah. Had a friend who had a 9mm handgun who liked to put a replica bullet into it and pretend he was going to shoot people at his house. He'd even go as far as squeezing the trigger to really scare the fuck out of people. One night, he was drunk as hell and decided to pull this trick on a friend of his roommates who'd never been to the house before. Well, that night, the idiot accidentally put a live round into the chamber and fired. The bullet missed this girl's head by fucking inches. He begged us not to call the police. We called the police. Shit like this terrifies me. I know I'll die one day, but the thought of being killed by a moron really bothers me. It reminds me of that video of a group of friends playing with a gun whilst driving around, and a girl accidentally shoots her friend in the head. Stupid people and guns do not fucking mix. This happened in my hometown at a party, fucking around with his gun to show off. Guy blew his friend's brains out at a party with about 100 people. He's still in jail 20 years later. Edit happened in Northern California for those who are wondering.